Hey, I'm JR, and you are watching the coolest dude on YouTube, Jammin' Music Man. Flick Club out.
What's up, guys? It's me, Jammin' Music Man, and welcome to my special new video. And in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Wrestlemania 34, where I'm going to give you guys the match list and tells you guys what special features come with this set, and of course whether or not I recommend you guys picking it up or not. But first off, let's talk about Wrestlemania. Of course, Wrestlemania is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, at least here in America and other places around the world. Now, I know in Japan, January 4th is always Pro Wrestling Day, but here in America, we look forward to WrestleMania. Now, you know, January 4th in Japan, that's when New Japan puts on their amazing Wrestle Kingdom show, and this year's Wrestle Kingdom main event headlining match was Kenny Omega taking on Chris Jericho. And of course, this year's WrestleMania, we get Brock Lesnar taking on Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal title. Now, when I first heard this was going to be the main event, I was a little bit disappointed, because you might remember a few years ago, WrestleMania 31, we got this exact same main event, and that was when Seth Rollins pulled off the heist of the century when he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract and became the WWE title, basically stealing the show from Brock and Roman. But we didn't get that with this match, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's talk about the matches. We get a great opening match for WrestleMania 34. For the WWE Intercontinental Championship, we see the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, defending his Intercontinental belt against Seth Rollins and my man, Finn Balor. Great opening match. I'm not the biggest fan of The Miz, but here recently he's been putting on some decent good matches. You know, everybody involved in this match looked strong at some other point in the match. But of course, Seth Rollins, he ends up pulling off the win. He's your new Intercontinental Champion. But Finn Balor, like I said, he's my dude. I hope sometime in the near future we see Finn Balor pull off a WrestleMania main event match. He definitely deserves it, and he's definitely one of the top stars on the planet, if you ask me. The next match we get for the SmackDown Women's Championship, we see SmackDown Women's Champ Charlotte Flair defend her belt against the undefeated Asuka. And a lot of people called this the match of the night. You know, it wasn't a bad match by no means, but for me it wasn't the match of the night. Of course, we see Charlotte ending up picking up a win. Asuka's undefeated streak comes to an end. A lot of people were shocked during this match that Charlotte won, but you know, Charlotte ends up picking up a win. Next match, we get a fatal four-way match for the United States Championship. We see U.S. Champion Randy Orton defend the title against Glorious Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, and Rusev. Happy Rusev Day. You know, this match was a decent match. You know, I know last year a lot of people kind of criticized the WWE for making Jinder Mahal the WWE champion for most of 2017. You know, Jinder Mahal, he's okay. You know, he's not one of my favorites. You know, Bobby Roode and Randy Orton are definitely talented guys, and Rusev, he's pretty talented too. But of course, Jinder Mahal, he ends up picking up the win. He's your new United States champion. So that leads us to, for me, I would have to say my favorite match at this year's WrestleMania. It was the mixed tag team match. Kurt Angle teaming up with my girl Ronda Rousey against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Ronda definitely looked strong during this match. She definitely looked like she has future potential on being a big mega superstar with the company. Of course, the moment when she put Triple H over her shoulders and dropped him, classic moment right there. And of course, when it looked like she was going to break Stephanie's arm and Stephanie taps out, great classic moment right there. And definitely Ronda, like I said, she definitely looked like she has potential to be a big star for the company. Next match, we get a triple threat match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The Usos taking on the New Day, taking on the Bludgeon Brothers. And the Bludgeon Brothers, they end up picking up a win. Decent match. Usos, one of my favorite tag teams in the WWE right now. And the New Day, you know, the New Day, they've been doing their New Day thing for, you know, the past, 3 or 4 years now. And the Bludgeon Brothers, you know, they're a pretty badass team. Of course, you know, Eric Rowan and I can't remember the other guy's name. You know, of course, they were in the Wyatt family. But, you know, a decent match. So that leads us to John Cena taking on The Undertaker. And this match lasted like, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And, of course, you know, last year, The Undertaker, he ends up losing to Roman Reigns. That was the main event for last year's WrestleMania. And, you know, you guys remember John Cena had been calling out The Undertaker for weeks now. Well, of course, The Undertaker shows up at WrestleMania. Tombstone pile drives John Cena. Undertaker wins. Classic WrestleMania moment. And the match was just kind of whatever. Let's just bring back The Undertaker. That's all they were pretty much doing. I love The Undertaker, and of course that leads us to our next match. Kevin Owens teaming up with Sami Zayn to take on Shane McMahon, and coming out of retirement, Daniel Bryan. I have to say this was one of my favorite WrestleMania matches. Of course, there's a stipulation: if Owens and Zayn win, they get rehired back to SmackDown. Well, of course, Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, they end up picking up the win. Owens and Zayn, they're gone. So that leads us to, for the Raw Women's Championship, you get Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss taking on Nia Jax. I mean, this was a fun match to watch. You know, to see Nia Jax chasing itty bitty tiny Alexa Bliss around the ring. I mean, it was fun, but a decent match and a fun watch. And of course, Nia Jax ends up picking up the win. She's your new Raw Women's Champion. And that leads us to another one of my favorites. For the WWE Championship, you get WWE Champion AJ Styles. Let me get that right. AJ Styles taking on the artist Shinsuke Nakamura. Great match. Great match. But I would have to say this was not as good as their Wrestle Kingdom 10 match. But AJ ends up picking up the win. Of course, that's when we get the infamous Nakamura heel turn. Of course, after the match, they embrace, shake hands. Nakamura drops to his knees, and he's going to hand the belt to AJ, and that's when we get the infamous Nakamura low blow. And, you know, I'm definitely, looking forward to see what we see with a heel Shinsuke Nakamura. Of course, you know, he was an infamous heel in New Japan for a time back in the day. And that leads us to the tag match that a lot of people were talking about. You get the Raw Tag Team Champions, The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus, taking on Braun Strowman and his mystery partner that ends up turning out to be a 10-year-old named Nicholas. That's right. Braun Strowman goes into the crowd and picks a 10-year-old kid named Nicholas, and they end up becoming the Raw Tag Team Champions. What? Now, I know a lot of people criticize this, but back when you were 10 years old, if Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Stone Cold came out into the audience and said, "Hey, brother, I want you to be my tag partner," you know you would do it. Well, you know, Braun Strowman and Nicholas, they end up becoming the Raw Tag Team Champions. And, of course, everybody, you know, criticized the hell out of it on social media. But, of course, you know, I think they got the tag belt stripped the next night. And that leads us to the lackluster main event of Brock Lesnar defending the Universal title against the big dog, Roman Reigns. And I'll be honest, this was just your typical Brock Lesnar match. You know, you get a lot of suplex cities going on in this match. And, of course, Brock ends up picking up the win. And, of course, Roman just lost another WrestleMania main event match. All in all, those are your match listings. So let's take a good look at what WrestleMania looks like on the inside. Alright guys, letting you get a good look at this year's WrestleMania. There you see all your favorite WWE superstars on the front cover. Charlotte, Brock, Ronda, Alexa, Shinsuke, Finn Balor. Pretty cool little slip cover here. This is what it looks like on the back. Now this year's WrestleMania DVD set is different from the ones in the past. Usually you got the DVD set where it folds out and you got like 3 discs. Not this year. This year's DVD set is just your typical little DVD case here. Pretty much just like the slip cover. There you see on the back. Then when we open it up, this is what we got inside. Got the match listings. You get a little card from Brock Lesnar. Then you get the 3 disc here. 1 disc 2, and then as a bonus disc you get the Raw after WrestleMania. But just wanted to show you guys what it looks like on the inside if you purchase WrestleMania 34. Alright guys, there you see a good look of what WrestleMania 34 looks like on the inside. Special features you get the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Of course, Matt Hardy ends up picking up a win. You get the first ever women's WrestleMania Battle Royal. Naomi ends up getting a win. And then for the vacated WWE Cruiserweight title, you get Cedric Alexander taking on Mustafa Ali. Of course, the reason why the title was vacated is because Enzo Amore got into his legal issues and he got fired from the WWE. Like I said, Cedric Alexander, he ends up picking up the win. He's your new Cruiserweight champion. You get a bonus disc. You get the Raw after Mania. And of course, we saw the return of Bobby Lashley and Brother Nero, a.k.a. Jeff Hardy, on the Raw after Mania. They did not include the WWE 2018 Hall of Fame disc. They gave you a promo code where you can download the Hall of Fame ceremony if you want to check it out, which I was kind of disappointed. I love watching the Hall of Fame ceremonies that they do, but sadly it didn't come with this. Like I said, you got to download it. So if you're buying this disc thinking you're going to see it, nope, download it. Now for my review of what I thought of this year's WrestleMania. The main event, it was kind of disappointed and boring, honestly. You know, I like Brock Lesnar. You know, great talent. You know, super badass. But the main event itself was just kind of typical Brock Lesnar match and boring. And Roman Reigns, you know, I'm sorry, I just don't feel like he's the next quote-unquote guy that the WWE is trying to make him out to be. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. And you can hear it in the crowds. I mean, Roman Reigns is supposed to be the top dog and he's getting booed. And that's my problem with the WWE. They're in this weird state right now. It's like they got all this great super talent, but they don't know how to use them all. And the big top dog that they're using is getting booed every show. And it's like they're ignoring what the audience doesn't like. They're, like I said, they're trying to push Roman down our throats. No, you will like Roman, and the fans are rejecting them. So it's kind of this weird state that they've been in for the past few years. But you know, there was some great matches on the undercard. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura match, that was good. Kurt Angle teaming up with Ronda Rousey, that for me, that was my favorite match. Owens and Zayn against Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, another great match. But the main event itself was just kind of boring. And I remember when they announced what the main event was going to be, I was just a little bit kind of disappointed. Like, again, didn't we already see this a couple years ago? But all in all, that's my review of WrestleMania 34. I'd like to know, what do you guys think? Leave me a comment below. Did you like this year's WrestleMania? Did you hate it? Did you just not care? I'd like to know. Be sure to slap that like button in the face. Of course, subscribe to my channel, and I'll put a link to my Twitter and my Instagram. So hit me up on those sites. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Jammin' Music Man. Thanks for watching.